and tire, voices crackling through the night, fast lanes every night. Gear shift sweat on the track, cold-blooded eyes staring back, metals clashing, heartbeat race, speed and snails in the same space. Stories of speed spinning wild, fury and cold blood compiled. Revving up, adrenaline high, fast and fierce, no alibi. Gear shift sweat on the track, cold-blooded eyes staring back, metals clashing, heartbeat race, speed and scales in the same space. Stories of speed spinning wild, fury.
Welcome, everybody, to the Speedway Stories and Cold-Blooded Conversation. To start off with, my guest tonight had an emergency to come up, and everything can't be on the show tonight. We rescheduled for next week. I understand emergencies happen and everything else, so they're taking care of whatever they got to do, and I apologize to everybody. Welcome to the show. We're going to continue on. I got one of my ball pythons here, Colossus. I figured I'd show everybody, introduce you to one of my animals. The show must go on, so welcome to the show. We're 7 days a week on the Nonsensical Network on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch. Check us out. The bio link. I will be scrolling down here at the bottom. So you guys, but yeah, I'm gonna just talk, since tonight was basically going to be a reptile night and everything else, since my guest, yeah, I sure did. Since we don't have the guest tonight because of what was going on, which is, like I said, understandable. So I figured I'd introduce you guys to one of my ball pythons. Like I said, this is Colossus. His genes are special. He's a pretty chill guy. Figured I'd introduce everybody to him. And I was going to talk about some of my people, influencers that I follow on YouTube and everything else, and Facebook, and where I get information from, kind of carry over. So, yeah. If anybody got any questions, I'll try to answer them the best I can. But a lot of my influencer into the reptile community, and I think everybody can admit to it that's been into animals since they were kids, is Steve Irwin. He influenced a lot of people with how the behavior of animals are and everything else. So, I mean, that was my big influence, and it just kept growing. And then YouTube come along. A lot of people I follow on YouTube and stuff. So they, like Kevin McCurley, like I said last week from Nerd, and Steve Nelson, my guest I had on for Area Reptiles, has a YouTube channel and everything. So,
hey, buddy, I have a question.
Hi, Fro. So, yeah, got a lot of people that are big influences in the game that got me into it and everything else. They're very educational. So, I mean, there's all kinds of YouTube stuff, information out there, but most of those guys I named, they're my influences on the reason I'm in the hobby. So, but yeah, that's why I've got two of the most expensive things we got, reptiles and like motorsports. So, I mean, you can't go wrong there.
Well, I understand the python, they eat rats and snakes and stuff. And I always wondered if the scene from Road Trip was true. Like, you put the rat in there, and like it takes a while for the python to actually kill it, right?
Right. But and sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. But with that scene, they kind of over exaggerated that scene in Road Trip. There is a lady that made a bad name in the community because she knew she was a terrible keeper. She actually got attacked and everything by a Burmese python because she knew it was feeding day and she still messed with it. And it did kind of similar, the same thing that happened in that movie.
Attacking him.
Yeah, but it was her own stupidity because she literally admitted in the video. You hear, "Well, it's feeding day, and I'm going to still mess with him," and it was a feeding response that happened, and that's what
Right.
happens with yours. Why the animals get
What
get
is
the
what is the
reputation to do.
feeding schedule?
Like for my boys here, most of mine, other than my little one, usually it's every 2 weeks. I feed them a medium frozen thawed rat, kind of like at room temperature. Try to get
Okay.
it there, but
So you don't like nuke it or something.
no, you can't do that because of the radiation from the microwave and
Right.
stuff. Usually, I
But so you leave it sit out for a little while,
Yeah.
and then you
either set out or I put it in some warm water and check the temperature with a temp gun. Make sure it's enough where it's not going to be like spoiled, because when they're frozen, they can spoil like anything else. But a frozen rodent will actually spoil faster than food sitting out. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've had one where I forgot about it, and you want to talk about an awful smell.
well, here's my other question. So, and I don't have the problem because they're not a big thing here. But if I had rats in my house, I would be a good idea to get a python as opposed to a cat.
Me personally, no. I would actually mousetraps, cat, with a python, and well, snakes in general. They're more for especially the wild. They keep them outside, everything. But in your house, yeah, I would do your basic mouse traps, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I know.
Like,
yeah,
I
that's
have a
the
friend of mine
thing.
that has a mouse problem, and I was like, just get a python. Let me check.
Well, some people, that's their joke about it. But I mean, just with the way these guys had in captivity, their husbandry and everything else, their upkeep and stuff. I mean, it's got certain parameters. But yeah, the answer on the Burmese and retics and your anacondas. I mean, I follow a lot of people that actually have these animals, and they you got to have a lot of space, a lot of patience, because you have to judge the body movement of a snake. I mean, even with my ball python.
Next question. What kind of enclosure do you have for them? I mean, I've seen the whole aquarium set up on TV and stuff.
Well, there's you can get front opening PVC enclosures. They recommend a 4x2 and everything else. Eventually, I'm going to upgrade mine, but right now I'd use a tub system with heat mats underneath them with a thermostat.
Okay.
Ball pythons really don't need. If you actually look it up, there's a guy named Dave Kaufman. His Reptile Adventures. He actually has the story about actually the ball pythons. They live in termite or ant mounds and stuff buried in the dirt out in Africa where they're originally from. Yeah. So
now, how big will you get?
No more than usually about 5 foot, if that, depending. Females are always bigger, males are smaller. So
dude, I'm 5 foot.
Yeah, my female would be as tall as you are that I have. So
pass.
I got Colossus out right now. She's a little cranky right at the moment. I originally was going to get her out, but I have no idea. Talking to the wife, she's asking me about
camera shy.
This is but this is the one. He was one of my first ones. I bought him. I kind of bought him off of a
What's he weigh?
Huh?
How much does he weigh?
I haven't actually weighed him. I mean, he really ain't that heavy. But this is a lifestyle when you get him out. Normally, he hangs around like this.
Yeah. I had every one of them used to have one. I think that's why we broke up, because that thing freaked me out. I'm not the snake guy. Like, snakes freak me out, man.
But yeah, they're pretty chill. Every one of them's got their own little personalities. Some of them can be assholes. I mean, but that's like any animal.
You should name them Glick.
Well, that's a big asshole, but that's besides the point. That's our boy, though. You know that. But yeah, mine are pretty chill, other than my baby, because he's little and stuff. This one, we've had him about 4 years now. Here, good Lord. Here, swap me. This is my big girl Phoenix. She's about 5 foot long. Yeah, I'm pretty much the only one that deals with her a lot in this house. So
now, what about like bites? I know they're not venomous or anything, but they got teeth.
Oh, they can hurt. They leave marks. But other than that, I mean, they're pretty chill. I've only been bit once, and it hurts. I'd rather have a paper cut, to be honest with you, just the way their teeth
Really?
are.
Her cage
Yeah.
is dirty. That's why she's pissed.
Huh?
Her cage is dirty.
Okay.
That's why she's upset.
But yeah,
Well, that,
yeah.
are you looking at getting anything more dangerous? I guess. Like, I had a buddy of mine had a crocodile.
Well, with the laws we got here in Ohio, no. It's more you got to jump basically through hoops and everything else, get permits, make sure your buildings make requirements. Because, I mean, I've done some research. One of my dream snakes, and I've been told no, but if we had the place for it where it wouldn't escape and I was the only one dealing with it, I want a rattlesnake. There's a speckled rattlesnake I'd like. It looks like cookies and cream. It's one of my dream reptiles. But here in Ohio, you got to carry almost $500,000 to $1 million
Insurance policy.
insurance. Yep, and then you got to spend thousands of dollars to make sure the facility it's in is escape proof. Nothing happens.
Hit Blaze up.
But
For
yes.
that money. He's got it.
Yeah, I'd rather just stick with what I have. I mean, my beardies, my ball pythons and stuff. So. But yeah, other than that, I mean, if you guys want to check out, that's watching, look up Dave Kaufman Reptile Adventures. He actually has amazing things about where he went in the wild. Like I said, did a whole like a 2-hour movie basically on the ball pythons where it lived in Africa, where they originated from. He's got all kinds of cool stuff. Oh yeah, it's amazing. I couldn't believe actually the way they live out there compared to what we're dealing with in captivity. But
so I take it like how like I know they shed their skin. Can
Yeah.
you use their skin for like a wallet, or is it too dried out at that point?
it's actually too dried out. What it is, the skin they use here. You can come over. And this is my littlest one. This is my Joker. He's a clown. He's a little ornery shit. This is the one I've been bit by multiple times.
I'm out.
Yeah. It like I said, it's more of a shock factor. It's like a little needle poke. So, but I mean, you're gonna have that, on those big jobs.
Yeah, well,
but yeah,
you had a hamster that can take your finger off, so I get that.
Oh, dude, I'd rather be bit by one of these ball pythons than a hamster, a rabbit, or anything else. Yeah.
Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that. I'm just saying.
Nah.
Pinch.
Very big pinch.
I don't know how well I trust it, but
I wouldn't trust it more than by the time you picked it up.
If you like a freshly shedded skin, you could put on a hat though, right? Like like a band, like cowboy hat.
I've actually got a bunch of sheds that I've kept from them and everything else. I was gonna make keychain stuff out of them and everything else. So, but you let it dry out for a couple days and then you can do whatever you want with them. I mean, it's pretty cool. So
they're pretty durable.
Oh yeah.
I always thought they were a little fragile.
It is. It's actually more fragile when you first pull it out than it is when it dries out. It's not nearly as bad. It's actually pretty tough. But yeah, but there's, like I said, there's all kinds of information out there. But a lot of my YouTube guys that I follow, that's what's got me back into it and everything else, and I really enjoy them.
How often do they shed?
Once a month.
Oh wow, shit.
Yeah. Some of them will shed more depending on the the conditions of their hides. And if there's anything, like if you're not careful with your substrate and stuff and the way you take care of them, they can actually get mites. And they'll constantly shit. Yeah, there's a reptile mite and they're a pain in the ass to get rid of. But
if they get a cut, they'll shed as well.
Yes,
like a bruise.
Depending on how bad it is, everything else. Usually about 4 or 5 sheds. I mean,
one of ours had it.
Yeah, we actually, one of the ones we rescued actually had mites, so I had to go through and treat every one of my animals' cages, redo everything for almost 3 weeks because we did not know. We just thought it was like dirt or something on them, and I messaged one of the guys I knew, and they're like, "No, you got mites," and I'm like, "Great," but we haven't
I'm
had
sure
a
that
problem
wasn't
since or
cheap.
nothing. And not too bad. It's
No?
actually cheaper than spraying for fleas and other shit.
Oh no
so,
shit!
Yeah, there's
I
just
remember
certain treatments you do.
we rescued a dog that had mange, and we had to shave the dog
Yep.
like with a
But yeah,
with a
with
fucking
these,
razor.
but with these guys, you empty their substrate out, clean it out, use all their stuff, soak them in there regularly every day for a few days, and get rid of it. But you keep them on paper towels. Now, and this is my other female. She's just a normal. Most of mine are all, like I said, named after X-Men. This is Rogue. She's my little one, other little one. She's another rescue.
How many do you have?
I have 4 total in snakes. That's not including 2 bearded dragons. Yeah. But yeah, these are my babies. The one I just
Wake up
showed you
one
is
day
actually
and hear
my
Wally
daughter's.
got eaten by a snake.
Nah. Said about me getting eaten by a snake.
One day I'm gonna get a message. Wally won't be on the show tonight. He got eaten by his snakes. Fair enough.
No,
I get it. That's my
but yeah,
fear. I saw that John Boyd movie.
Well, see, now that you bring up about the movies, that's where a lot of people get their fear over these.
Oh yeah, 100%.
She's so.
I
She's
saw
getting
Anaconda. Jennifer Lopez
Yeah,
barely
then
made
that's-
that movie.
But that's the thing. That's where it's like I talked last week. People fear what they don't understand, and reptiles are actually one of the most
They're pretty
feared
docile.
animals really actually out there. So I mean, it's just
They're pretty docile, from what I understand.
yeah, they're not
Unless you
bad.
piss
It's
them off.
well, it's how you handle it and how you handle a situation. Just lots of time and lots of work. That's like my tegu that I have. I won't get out, but it's the wife. Wife deals with it. He's a little feisty little fucker. But yeah, other than that, they're pretty chill. Like I said, I've got my own little petting zoo here at my house. So
I was going to say, good lord. So, what do the bearded dragons eat?
they're actually vegetables and crickets.
Oh no shit!
mealworm.
No shit.
Yeah,
'Cause
they're on.
we have iguanas here, the size of like this. They're massive. We got the little geckos that run around the house, but those just eat mosquitoes all the time, so I don't mind them.
Well, I
But
actually one of my other ones is an iguana. He eats a lot of vegetables and fruits, so
He's a dickhead.
that's
I tried to
my
catch him.
boy.
I want one. I want to
They're
catch
freaking
one.
quick.
But they're quick. They're quick, man.
Oh
Holy
yeah,
shit.
and
I'm
they
afraid
will
I'm gonna lose a finger.
you will from them if they bite you.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm like, yeah, I don't need to really want to catch one, but I want to try,
Right.
like a dog chasing a car.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing of it is, down in Florida, hell, they got licensed now, just like to hunt those Burmese that are evasive. Iguanas are evasive, so they get permits to hunt them. People actually prepare them and eat them as meals. They say it's actually good.
They look like they'd be tasty.
Yeah, but they mostly they're vegetarians and they eat fruit and stuff. So I mean,
I did not know that.
yep.
I want a
they're actually
Komodo
pretty-
dragon.
Yeah, good luck. Nobody can have them other than certain zoos.
Well, I saw that movie, The Freshman, with Matthew Broderick, where he transported
Yep.
that Komodo dragon. I was like, I want one. Then I read about him and I was like, no, I don't.
They're one of they're the largest monitor lizards on the planet. They're basically your living, breathing, true dinosaur that's left.
Yeah,
Besides all reptiles, I mean, they all come
well,
from it.
they'll bite you and leave a venom that they can track.
It's because the venom that's in it's all in their gland. It's a bacteria that's inside
Yeah,
their glands. So I mean, it's like a venom
it'll
to
like
them.
paralyze you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why they
pass.
got their own. That's why they got their own island called Komodo Island. It's just strictly all Komodo dragons, and
Not going.
there's a lot of famous venomous snakes too. A lot of people keep those real bright blue venomous snakes you ever see pictures of.
Oh yeah, they're very pretty.
Those are actually from Komodo Island. Believe it or
Oh,
not,
okay.
they used to be transported in and everything from that island until people started breeding them and stuff. So
We're gonna have to get you to come down here because Cancun is actually translated. It's a Mayan word. It means snake pit.
yeah,
You want help?
But yeah,
I've never
the,
actually seen one, but I
well,
don't go out in the woods.
well, you got to go to basically the woods and the jungles down there.
Yeah.
They actually say Cozumel's jungles is where you will find a lot of your stuff there.
Yeah.
Like your boa constrictors from Argentina and everything else. I mean, everywhere's got their thing, and certain species that people do. There's a guy I follow. He goes all over in Thailand, China. They go herping out in the woods. They find all different reptiles, all the different venomous snakes that are out there and everything else. It's called Rupert's Reptiles. He does expeditions, and then there's his buddy David's Feed. They show all kinds of the different venomous snakes that's over in the western hemisphere and everything else, man. But yeah, I mean, I got about 200 channels that I follow and can't keep up with all of them.
Oh, yeah.
So
I get that. I do the same thing with cars. The one guy's really got my interest. So, what, the snakes get loose?
You're gonna get fucked
no,
up,
actually, it's my tegu. They got them out.
Okay.
So, right.
That's an alligator.
That's actually my my mini. Yeah, that's my mini gator. No, that's my Columbia gold and black tegu.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah, he can be.
What are you doing?
I'm
That's
gonna get eaten if I go to Wally's house.
Hey, you piss me off, you will. Oh.
So just like
No.
everywhere else. Right? That's what I said, Blaze. The fuck? But yeah, I just wanted to come up real quick because I had a couple questions. I have to get back to work, but thanks for the info, buddy.
Oh, no problem. There he is.
Jesus Christ.
And the sad part is, this is just the baby side of him. He gets about 4.5 foot long. So, what are you doing, Bobby?
Lord. So I would be a
Yep.
snack.
Yeah. My Chihuahua would be a snack for him at 4.5 foot long. So,
Yeah. That's... Honey, have you seen the dog? Honey?
that's what they were
Where's
yelling at the dog.
everybody?
They were telling the dog he was gonna bite off more than he could chew, trying to fuck with him. So that's pretty much the wife's other baby. She handles him more than anybody. He's just chilling.
Well, I appreciate bringing me up, buddy. I'm gonna jump down. I gotta get back to work.
All right, Bob. Thanks for jumping on, man. I'll catch you later.
Catch you later. Bye.
But yeah, there's a lot of, like I was telling Jeff, there's a lot of different YouTube channels, everything else out there that I follow, and just figured I'd introduce you to some of my animals, and that they, as you can see, they're kind of crazy. But that's my. He needs the soak.
You butthole? Shit. Oh.
Yep. But yeah, there's all kinds of different YouTube channels that I follow that I was mentioning. And if you want to know the history of how the ball pythons live, check out Dave Kaufman's Reptile Adventures. It actually has a whole movie on it, based the way they are. And we'll learn different things. But yeah, that's part of the reason I got back into the hobby, like I said, is a lot of those, and really enjoy them. And I mean, anybody else got any questions in the comments that's watching? Blaze, you have anything if I can answer for you, buddy? But yeah, we're just kind of mini pitting zoo, like I said. But there's a lot of big names out there that'll educate you guys really well. Just look them up on YouTube. Like I said, there's Kevin McCurley from Nerd, Dave Kaufman's Reptile Adventures, Brian Barczyk, his channel. Rupert's Reptiles, David's Feed, especially if you're into the venomous, and you get to see all different kinds from over there in China, the Philippines, and Thailand over there. I mean, I've learned a lot from the way they live and them going out and just exploring the forests and stuff. I mean, it's pretty cool seeing that. And they show a lot of different things. It's just not the snakes. There's the lizards. They've ran into jaguars out there. They've actually seen tigers. I mean, it's pretty cool. Back to one of the things for it I had pulled up here I wanted to talk to you guys about. I was talking about last week the U.S. Ark that helps us here with our hobbies in the reptile community. But they do a lot of things for us. If it wasn't for them and getting started, I don't think we'd be able to enjoy the hobbies that we have and keep the animals as you've seen that I have. But yeah, certain animals, certain states and everything have their requirements for permits, different setups for enclosures, buildings you got to go through. Some places, like in Florida, their biggest thing is they got inspections and license for almost everything down there. That also, they have another part of U.S. Ark is U.S. Ark Florida, which helps responsible reptile keepers in Florida fight the legislations that our government's trying to take away our rights for basically everything. And they try to help you. And with the biggest problem we have in our hobby is irresponsible people. It's just like anything else. There's anywhere, dogs, cats, fish, whatever. But this group of people, they try to help us that are the responsible ones so we don't lose our animals. But yeah. Now to a few more channels that I follow that I will let you guys know about that I think you would get some good education. Like I said, my good buddy that was on here a month ago, Mr. Steve Nelson, he has his reptile channel. It's a reptile I am. He's got that. It's YouTube. There is, if you want to getting into the ball pythons like I was showing and either seeing the different morphs of them, there's so many different morphs. A good one to look into is Always Evolving Pythons, Miguel. His YouTube channel, Billy Rowe, Mutation Creation. They show you the business side of the ball python breeding, which is neat, but you also get to see the different morphs. I mean, you don't have to get into the breeding of the ball pythons. You can have them as a pet and everything else. Another good one, Brian Cusco. He's out of California. He's very informative. He's big advocate with U.S. Ark too, and he helps spread the good word. He does goes around to schools and stuff and does lessons with most of his animals. He has Burmese and stuff he takes around and shows the school. A Velociraptor would be nice. Too bad they aren't in existence unless you can pull off a Jurassic Park deal. But yeah, then like if you're into the geckos and stuff like that, there's Dakota Blue Exotics YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm just giving a shout out to the ones that I keep up with in the hobby that I get my education from on that I think would be very informative for a lot of people. Another good one, God rest his soul, would be Dingle Dinkelman. He was out of Africa. He had a conservation. Man was big on his reptiles. Did a lot of conservation and everything else, and his family's still carrying that on. He dealt with a lot of the renowned venomous snakes and crocodiles and stuff out there. Let's see, a couple more I could do real quick. Gatorland down in Florida. They are specialized in the alligators, crocodiles. They have some amazing animals. If you ever get a chance to watch their YouTube videos, they have pure white alligators and everything else. It's pretty neat. And last but not least is one of my other favorites, second favorite, honestly. I can do two of them. It's kind of a tie. A guy named by Justin. It's called Bite Force. He hasn't been on a lot lately because he's been dealing with some issues and stuff and getting his facility done. Him and Camp Keenan. They're all based out of Florida. Good YouTube channels, good educational. With Kenan, you get all sides of the monitor side, tortoises. You get to see Aldabra tortoises, the largest tortoise in the world. He does a lot of conservation. And then you got Wolf's World is my last one. He specializes in all monitors. I mean, he's got black throats. He's got blacked out Nile monitors, Asian water monitors. His place is amazing. I love watching it, the way he takes care of them and everything else. And he just takes you along in his daily life. So, but other than that, like I said, I apologize for not having a guest. Like I said, had an emergency, so the show must go on. And I just figured I'd come on here and talk about what it was in the hobby and throw out some of these channels that you guys might be interested in checking out and getting some education from them and everything else, since this was going to be a reptile show instead of the motorsports tonight. Everybody have a good night. Check us out 7 days a week. Monday nights, I start with my Speedway stories, which is actually the motorsports side. Next Monday, actually, the guest I had on tonight, we rescheduled for, so it will actually be a show, reptile show. Tuesday nights is Glick's House of Music. Wednesday night is What the Fuck News with Jeff and Glick. It's anything in the news that makes you say, what the fuck. Thursday nights, it's my other part of my show, The Cold-Blooded Conversations. This Thursday, I have a gentleman by the name of Wayne from Kryptonite Pythons that's going to be on. He is new to the ball python breeding side of it, and he going to come on, talk about it and everything else. He's a good friend of Steve Nelson, so that's how I ended up talking with him, and we become pretty close. So Friday night is Nonsense and Chill with Blaze and Jeff. They just chill out. This Friday is trivia night on there, and Saturday is the mainstay Nonsensical Nonsense, where we have the open panel challenge. You're brave enough to come on and deal with the guys and their craziness. Please join us. And Sunday is Necessary Enoughness with Derek, Glick, and Rick. They talk all things sports. So everybody have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Nonsensical network, different flavor every day. Movie talks, new flicks hitting the display. Microphone magic, musicians spill the praise. From reptiles to motorsports, burning rubber craze. Football crashes, touchdowns, epic plays. News spinning, catching on the latest phase. Gleaming cars, engines roaring up the pace. Street tales, urban stories we embrace. Tune in, every week diverse. Groove to the beats, let the rhythm immerse. Lyrics flowing, ciphers full of verse. Nonsensical network, feel the universe. Interviews buzzing, stars in the circuit. Worlds of tapestry, pieces we interpret. Hip-hop to rap, the flow never stagnant. Reptilian tales, nature's arrangement. Cars with muscle, engines with might. Motorsports roaring, speed in the night. Discussions heated, always a delight. Network of nonsense, but the vibe's just right. Tune in, wait for that beat. Flow so seamless, feeling so sweet. Urban grooves, rhythm from the street. Nonsensical network, always on repeat.